Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. How y'all doing? The very first little bit of late night here after the time change. And guys, I gotta get this out there. I don't like when I'm 3 hours off from my East Coast folks, friends, audience members, whatever. 2 hours time difference is enough. 3 hours is like, oh my gosh, I feel like if I'm not live by 9 p.m. Eastern, I might as well say goodbye to half of the audience. But maybe I caught some of you guys doom scrolling or thinking about going to bed, but maybe you're feeling a little wired and want to get into some nerdy talk. So thank you so much. No matter where you're joining from, thank you so very much. If you're kicking it with us and you're having a good time, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching after the fact, that's even cooler. Hit the hype button if you dig the video and jump into the comments. Let me know some of your top kills from the Friday the 13th franchise. Yeah, we're going to talk about these guys. And I know there's the reason why I have this poll going on in the live audience or for the live audience. We've got one that says, let's resolve it once and for all. Which is the best kill in the Friday the 13th franchise? And it's just between the sleeping bag thwop, as I'm calling it, and the liquid nitrogen head smash. And right now, guys, 16 votes, 50-50 at this point. I'm not saying we can't talk about these tonight. I get it. We love these kills. I'm saying let's shine a light on each one of these movies has, you know, probably 2 or 3 that are worth mentioning and worth nerding out over. You know, this isn't about, you don't need to drop the one kill that people are going to be like, oh, that's the new best one. Just one that stands out in the franchise to you. It's not one of those 2 marquees. You know, I think those are the 2 big ones. And then, you know, whatever. Julius getting his head punched off in Manhattan. That's great. We should absolutely talk about that. And again, not saying we won't talk about the sleeping bag or the liquid nitrogen head smash, but let's talk about the whole thing. I actually have like this, what is it called? It's basically a Wikipedia list of deaths wiki for the original run, the original timeline of Friday the 13th. And let's play with Never Hike Alone as well. If you guys want to play in that realm, we can play in that realm also. So I'm going to say what's up to you guys. If you see flashing lights on my face, that's because I'm pulling up the webpage. We will be referencing that. I figured we can just kind of go whatever. Of course, the way that my brain thinks is like, let's go movie by movie. And I'm sure by the time I'm done saying hello to everybody in the live audience, because you guys are absolutely amazing, once I'm done saying hello, we're probably going to have quite a bit to talk about. So if you mention one or I see one in the comments, I'll just star it. We can come back to it. I'm just going to say what's up to everybody and we'll get this show on the road. How about it? Thank you guys again so much for joining me. Extra shout out to the Patreon members and the YouTube channel members. We've had a big jump in membership lately. It's been super awesome to have that happen. And shout out to our Death Squad mods that keep everything pretty clean in here. You guys do a pretty good job of keeping stuff clean in here as well. There's not a lot for them to usually have to mop up, you know, so I dig that. Checking in on the poll really quick before I say hello to everyone. 19 votes. Sleeping bag thwop looks like it's winning by like 1 vote right now. So as you join in, make sure to participate in the voting there. And then I do have a super chat goal. I try to do that every single time. It's just icing on the cake. It's nothing that's, you know, I don't put anything behind like a paywall like that or anything. But I figured we could chat for about an hour-ish, hour 15-ish. If you guys want to go for that, you know, second hour, then we, you know, all we have to do is get 10 super chats of $2 or more. And I even have an idea, because I'm thinking about doing my own list, top 13 kills of the Friday the 13th franchise. Guys, if we reach this goal tonight, I'll put out like a 1 super chat goal. So it'll be like 1 for some amount of whatever. But basically the first person that claims that one, if we get to that spot, the first person that claims that that goal, that hits that mark, you're going to be able to get your own shout out on that video and your own entry on, you know, your basically your favorite Friday the 13th kill that I will talk about, you know, in your place. How about that? So we'll see if we get there. But anyways, guys, it's going to be a super fun week. It is Friday the 13th week. It's the second of 3 that we have this year in 2026. And we're kicking it off here. I just wanted to kick it off early. Then on Wednesday night, we're going to do a Friday the 13th franchise emergency meeting live for late night with the Davey. And we're going to have our guy, Vincent DeSanti from Womp Stomp Films. That's right, the Never Hike Alone man himself, and so much more that Womp Stomp is working on right now. So he's got a lot of irons in the fire. We're going to catch up with Vin on what's going on with Womp Stomp and, specifically what's going on with the Ghost Jason character, because he is carrying on, all of that. But we're also going to sit down and kind of talk about what's working, what isn't working, where we want the franchise to go, where we expect the franchise to go with everything going on with the Crystal Lake TV show. And guys, it's not going to be total gloom and doom. This is going to be, at least from my perspective, really trying to lean into the positive, pick Vin's brain a bit, because he's a super fan. He's entrenched in this character and in this world. He knows a lot about the going-ons, like behind the scenes and everything like that. So, very insightful person to speak to about this franchise. I'm really looking forward to having that. And then on Friday, guys, I am watching Friday the 13th, Part 2, Part 3, and the final chapter with Jason from Backtrack Cinema. We're doing a whole marathon. It's going to be simulcast on this channel as well as Backtrack Cinema. So there we go. I laid out my whole slate of Friday the 13th weekly activities for you guys. It's time to say hello, make sure my mic isn't buzzing in your ear, and get this fucking show on the road. Here we go. We got Hollywood Lido jumping on in, one of our great channel members, saying, for this one, I think I need to say first, if only because of the shipment I sent. Oh, Lito, I am very, very curious at what you've sent in the mail. Usually when somebody reaches out and they're like, hey, what's your address? I usually just report those people. Or I say, I told you never to contact me ever again. That kind of thing. But when Lido says it, I'm like, okay, Lito's got something good. He's got something good. Great to see you, Lito. Thanks for joining us. We got Lamontre Gillard hanging out, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Lamontre? So great to see you, man. We got Nanette Blood Rose. Why did I want to say Blood Rose? Blood Rose Horror Fairy says, I'll be back in a few minutes to hang out in the chat, finishing watching my movie. Well, heck yeah, I think we gave you a little bit of time, so hopefully you're right back on in there, Nanette. Guys, there's the link pinned in the chat. If you're a huge fan of the thing, I have an affiliate link. Creator VC put together like a 5-hour documentary, brand new interviews, insight, all that stuff. Kurt Russell, Keith David, John Carpenter. Oh my gosh. If you're a fan of the thing, check out that link. There you go. That's all I'm going to say about it. We got Lizzie with a Y, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Lizzie? So good to see you. Thank you for kicking it with us. My guy, Ryan Michael, another one of our channel members. What's happening, Ryan? Says, what up, Davey and Death Squad alike? Hope everyone is having a killer day. I sure am having a killer day. Ryan, I sure am. We got Tia Nina hanging out as well, one of our great channel members. What's happening? King Matthew dropping in to say what's up, but he can't hang. We got Gaz here, some saying on Friday the 13th. Oh, he's already got one. I'm going to star this one. Is that, we're going to look up the character's name. Is that Chewie? Is that Chewie from Friday the 13th, 09? I think that's who he's talking about. I'm going to star that one. We're going to come back to it, Gaz. Thank you so much for jumping on in, man. We got Jason Carpenter, one of our great channel members here, saying that he's just relaxing, playing some RE9. Hell yeah, a little Requiem action for you. I am on avocado time now. It kind of sucks being on Pacific time. I like Mountain is where I feel most comfortable. You're kind of right in the middle-ish. You're middle-ish enough. The 2-hour time difference doesn't really, trip me up too much. There you go. Prince says, seeing you means I gotta put in a horror anime in my schedule for the week. Thanks for your presence. You got it, Prince. You got it. Bubba Voorhees jumping on into saying, Liquid Nitrogen, in my opinion, is just brutal and really cool. But the sleeping bag is simple and iconic. Yes, they're both tippy-toppy right there. Thank you so much for joining us, Bubba. Hope you're doing well. We got Super Tenor, one of our great channel members, jumping on in. What's happening, Aaron? Hope you are doing well. The toxic waste kill is pretty cool too. I'm going to star that one so we don't forget it when we get there. We got Jigsaw jumping in, kicking off the super chat goal with a good old $2 and saying, let's go. All right, Jiggy, thank you for joining us. One of our great channel members right there. We got Adrian James. What's happening, Adrian? So great to see you. Lido, I see yours. You've got your list. There we go. Holy cow, I did not see that pop up in my mail. I'm gonna have to go grab that after. Yeah, that's gonna be something that well, I guess we'll see what it is. Lido might have to do a little video on that. Jigsaw dropping another $2. Says let's run it back. Uche, is that what that is? Uche? I don't know. Or are you calling me Unk? Am I Unk? I don't know. I always thought it was just Shannon Sharp that was Unk, but I guess it's just anyone that's kind of older. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what I'm gathering here. All right, we got Aaron Click hanging out with us. What's happening, Aaron? Yeah, I didn't see any other hello go through, so that might have been the one. We got Ghost in the Dark Hills hanging out. What's happening, Ghost? We got Shane checking in from the East Coast, my man. I know it's so late for you guys out there. I appreciate every single one of you jumping in. Maybe your loved one, your spouse or something is like, what are you doing on your phone right now? It's like 10:30. Put your phone down and you're like, oh, but the smooth voice of Davey Deathray. I mean, what can you do? The one thing you can do is just turn the screen over to your spouse, turn up the volume, and then they'll be like, and they'll get locked in as well. That's all I can hope. That's all I can hope for. Holy cow, guys, over 30 people hanging out with us. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, all that good stuff. What's happening, Herbert? So good to see you, man. Thank you for joining us here. Oh, it's a wrestling. See, wrestling for me is like old school WWF, like late 80s, like 90 is pretty much, that's it for me. I went to, WWF. It was like, I don't know if it was WrestleMania, whatever it was. It was like in the Cap Center back in like 90 or early 91. Can't remember. We got Shelby hanging out from Chris and Shell Watch Movies. How's it going, Shelby? Thank you so much for kicking it with us. Welcome on in. Lido's got his list is continuing. I love it. We got the Man Collects jumping on in. I think this might be your first time in the chat. Welcome on in. You're kicking it with the Death Squad. And the Man Collect says, love the liquid nitrogen kill, but gotta go with the sleeping bag. Iconic moment in the franchise. Yes. And it fits in with the camper motif, right? The liquid nitrogen kill is cool and all, but the sleeping bag fits with Jason a lot more. Let's see here. We got Dylan hanging out with us as well. What's happening, Dylan? Kicking it at the Strode House. Is that what that is there? The little icon? He says, I wonder if there's a chance we get a trailer for Crystal Lake this Friday. Would be a missed opportunity, assuming it's coming this year. Yeah, Dylan, so I've heard November. I haven't heard a date, but I've heard sometime in November. There is a Friday the 13th in November. That would make sense to me. I've heard late November, which doesn't make sense to me. It might be a little early for them to give us one since it's about 8 months away, right? So I would love one as well. Don't get me wrong, man. I try to think practically, and I'm like, I don't think they'll do it 8 months away. I think we'll get like a little teaser this summer and then a bigger trailer like, October, like, basically a month before we get the show. They'll kind of like unload the full trailer. But man, I would love like a one sheet, a title card. Like what is Camp Crystal Lake, like the TV series? What is their logo gonna look like? Give me a poster. Just give me something. Like that's what I want. And then we can ramp up some trailers and stuff. It would be great. Like June 13th is Jason's birthday, and it's summer camp season and everything. It would be cool by sometime around there. Even though we don't have a Friday the 13th, it would be cool if they dropped a trailer sometime in the summer. That's what I would expect. So I'll leave it at that there. Ghost, I won't be talking about Scream 8 in this in this stream. Sorry. We'll be having streams about that once it becomes official, because even though they've been talking about it for a while and talking about working on it in the background, we haven't gotten like an actual official word, an official press release on the green light. Once that happens, we'll talk about it a lot more. But there's so much Scream talk going on right now. This is Friday the 13th week, and we're going to pay our guy Jason some respect. And also, yeah, there's just so much Scream content. I just want to take a break. And don't worry, you don't have to apologize for it or anything. I just wanted to let you know why I won't dive in. So there you go. All right. Sleep. There are like 3. I always think of the one from the New Blood. That's the original, and I think in the extended cut or the version that was snipped out or whatever, there are multiple hits on the tree. We only get one. in the final cut of the film. But yeah, they brought it back in like Jason X, right? And then, I mean, there's a sleeping bag kill in the remake, but it's not, I guess, does he thwap her once and then light her on fire or put her over the fire? I thought he just sort of dragged her over and hung her over the fire. I could be wrong, but yeah, 3 that involve, where a sleeping bag is definitely a big part of it. There you go. Ghost, do you have a favorite kill from that movie? Curious to know. Okay, guys, so let me go ahead and jump on over to what you guys are already saying here. And then we'll kind of take it, I guess we can take it movie by movie, however you guys want to do it. I'm sure that as we, start talking about all these, it's going to inspire you guys, or it's going to drudge up memories of kills that you absolutely adore. And I'll chime in and everything, but I don't want to tip my hat too much on, or tip my hand too much on what I would put in my top 13 list. So I'll chime in, but we'll just see how it goes. Okay, let's see here. We got Gas saying in Friday the 13th, 09, the Asian death in the garage has always been a brutal one. Yeah, that's one of those. I'm going to pull it up here because I think the character's name is Chewie. Or am I just totally off on there? Let's see what we got here. It is Chad Chewie Wong, stabbed in the throat by Jason with a screwdriver. It is brutal, man. Those kills where there's like an actual struggle and it's just like slowly making its way in, those are always pretty tough. I would say, not to just be a contrarian for contrarian's sake, but when Lawrence is running away from the shed after he finds Chewie deceased, and Jason does the double arm axe throw, oh my god, that is incredible. Like, that shot's really cool. It's I love that Jason in that movie uses all sorts of like camping implements like each time he does a kill. But yeah, man, the Chewie's death there in the 09 remake. There we go. Gaz kicking it off. Jason Carpenter saying, love the toxic waste kill in Jason Takes Manhattan. That one's pretty hardcore too. Like, Charles really deserves it. He is, there are like those jerks in horror. It's like you like him because the actor did such a good job playing the character. You hate the character, but you just like love how the performer relished in the performance. Charles is one of those for sure. He's like the John Strode of the movie, where you just can't wait for this fucker to die, and he gets a really gross death. I mean, basically, like, Jason is teleporting right in that building, and I think throws him out of a window right on the ground. Almost immediately teleports to right outside of the building because he's picked up like right away, dunked in that fucking trash can full of whatever, secret of the ooze is going on in there, right? I think, excuse me, guys. Whew, I don't know what happened. Excuse me. I think we see that trash can and a rat earlier. I don't know what happened, guys, but I need a sip of water. Holy cow. All I did was breathe in. Aging, you get older, you breathe in, all of a sudden you're choking. Like, what the hell's going on? But yeah, the toxic waste kill, Jason Takes Manhattan. There you go. One of the only kills that's not a cutaway because it doesn't involve blood. So there we go. Okay, here we've got a two-parter of Lito's laundry list of favorite kills in Friday the 13th. So let's see. Marcy getting axed. Ooh, that is a really good one. I like it even more on the uncut version. You get a little bit of a longer shot there. I love the axe, the hand hitting the light bulb and the swinging of the light bulb. Like, the lighting is really great. Love that. 2, Mark splits. From part 3. Mark splits from 3. Oh no, Andy does the splits is from 3. Mark splits is the machete in the head. Man, I always want to see more of that kill too. And where did those stairs come from? We've never resolved that. In, of all the problems that we have with the Friday the 13th, everything going on, legal battles, blah, 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 blah. We've never figured out how Mark goes from the deck of the house, of the main cabin, to rolling down the stairs that seemingly are like a little bit of ways. Never understood that. Never understood that one. I love the machete kill. I feel like it's a little too truncated. I would have liked to have seen it play out a little bit longer for me. But, you know, I like that it establishes that no one's safe. Like, yeah, we're not going to take it easy on the guy in the wheelchair. Nope. No, Jason doesn't really care about that. He doesn't really have the mental capacity to sort of like assess those kinds of things. Jimmy gets faced. Guys, that is one that I really love. And it's not just, you know, the corkscrew and the cleaver in the face. Like, those are awesome. I think one of my favorite parts about that kill is the way that Jason poses Jimmy's body like to block the doorway. And he uses those big like railroad spikes on his hands, almost like crucifies him kind of in the doorway. And when Jason is chasing, oh my gosh, Trish, I think it's Trish. He, at one point, he goes out that way and he just like a rag doll just pushes Jimmy over, and the effects, the way the hands like tear off the nails, it just grosses me out. And I love that kill for not only the moment of impact and the corkscrew, you know, all that stuff's great. It's the aftermath really, really creeps me out. Love that one. 5, Tina sees no evil. I need you to describe what Tina sees no evil. Is that Tina killing her dad? I don't know what that is. Ooh, number 6, Sheriff Garris folds his hand. That's a really, I love that one. Oh, Tina sees no evil. Sorry. You're talking about because you're going for each movie, right? So you're talking about the garden shears in the eyeballs. Is that what it is? Okay. And then that's a good one. I love that one. Deborah Voorhees. Oh my God, what a rack. Sheriff Garris folds his hand. That's a really brutal one too. The bend back. You know, it's funny. I love Jason Lives, but it is so like, there isn't a lot of graphic, you know, on-screen kills. Like there's some like aftermath kind of stuff that's pretty gnarly and all that. I tried to think like what would be my favorite kill. I mean, Sheriff Garris getting folded in half is pretty fucking brutal. Number 7, Dr. Cruz has real guts. Again, the extended version of that is so much better. You really get to see those guts. That is a good one. Man, what one do I love from New Blood? I'm trying to think from New Blood. I mean, I love the party, like the party horn in the one girl's eye is pretty awesome. I also like when he crushes the guy's head again in the, you know, the cut that reintroduces all that original footage. Like he really does crush his head down to like the size of a baseball, something like that. It's pretty wild. Lito's got Julius's gets ahead. Ha 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 ha. Debbie has to split. Oh yes, from Jason Goes to Hell. That one is fucking crazy. The first time I saw that, and I think my buddies and I rented like the NC-17 version or whatever it was, the unrated version. Oh my gosh, that scene is like so crazy. We had never seen anything like that in these slasher movies. Something that brutal, just oh man, it's hardcore. In X, Adrian's so frigid, that's got to be the liquid nitrogen. Freddy versus Jason. Oh, another fold one. Lito loves the fold kills. And in 09, Amanda gets burned. Amanda gets burned. Burned. Who gets burned in 09? I'm trying to think. Who gets burned? Oh, in the sleeping bag. There we go. You know these characters' names, Lito, and I am like, it's like so far over my head. Ryan Michael dropping a $1.99 super chat saying the sleeping bag kill just makes me, well, smile. Thank you so much for the 2, Ryan. Gaz Hearsome dropping a $3.49 New Zealand says also the bed kill in Freddy versus Jason. Damn. Yeah, that one is hardcore because he still gets him. He still stabs him with the machete, right? And folds him up. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Freddy versus Jason has a lot of style. You know, I'm not always in the mood for that movie. But Ronnie Yu, man, between that and Bride of Chucky's got such a style to him. And Freddy versus Jason is a really easy, like, fun watch for sure. Yeah. We got Jigsaw dropping another $2 for 5 onion rings. There we go. Thank you so much, Jigsaw. Really appreciate it, man. Okay, I'm going to jump back in with the live chat, see what you guys are saying here. See what I missed after the introduction. Let's see. Oh my gosh, going way back. Okay, here we go. Chewy Wong, there it is. Dude, how do you know it all? Do you have the Wikipedia pulled up too? I hope so. Nanette says, since I just finished watching the first Friday the 13th, I have to say that I love the Kevin Bacon kill. Yes, guys, let's go all the way back to the OG. The Kevin Bacon kill is definitely a standout, right? And it was one of those things where I'm sure you guys have heard the story. The mechanism didn't work properly. Tom Savini had to like grab this tube because the machine wasn't working and blow into the tube to get the blood to come out. That's why the blood kind of has this not necessarily a steady flow, but maybe looks a little more realistic. Just one of those great moments where a limitation, ended up putting them in a spot where they had to be creative, and I think it benefited. But yeah, that Kevin Bacon kill is awesome, especially if you guys do watch the newer transfers where they've cleaned things up. There's something about those older transfers. For whatever reason, there was a contrast between the makeup and the skin tone, but I'm guessing that was a better match, in the original, copy of the film, because they've gone and cleaned it up, and all that stuff looks way better. From the opening kill, what is her name, Annie or whatever, from that kill, to the Kevin Bacon one, just looks even more streamlined, and a kill that would be like, replicated and used in other movies as well. So yeah, the Kevin Bacon kill, awesome. I'm trying to think of one other standout one. We don't get to see it on camera. I know it's a shame, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But when Bing Crosby's kid, what is his name, Bill in the movie, something like that, he, the guy wearing like the red flannel, playing the guitar and all that stuff, when Alice opens up the door or whatever, and he's like stuck up on the door with the multiple arrows in his body holding him to the door. That to me is such creepy imagery, even though it doesn't really make sense. It is freaky and nightmarish, and I love it. So those are my two entries, or the two I'll talk about right now for the first movie. But let's see what you guys are saying here. What's happening, Antonis? Welcome on in, one of our great channel members there. It is a winner. It is a winner. I wish the effect had a bit more of like a blood spurt or something like that. It's a pretty clean ripping of the head. There's not really any gooey aftermath or anything. Yeah, it is nice, huh? It is a little bit the uncut version, if you guys have access to that version of the original Friday the 13th, it's not changed too drastically. But I think, maybe it just would please a more modern audience a bit more. There's longer shots on the gore and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, welcome on in, Billy. Thank you so much for hanging out, man. Really appreciate you. We got Gaz here some. I already grabbed that one, dropping the 349. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any of that stuff. They do lead to the beach in the movie. It's just when you see them walking to the stairs, it's a little bit a ways away. Like him getting hit him getting hit with the machete in the head, and then just having like rolling down some steps and then rolling down a hill and rolling down more steps. I'm just saying it looks cool. It's just never made sense to me, logistically speaking. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome kill. Totally gets you by surprise. Yeah. Regarding the stairs in part 2, I think they were to the right of the short stairs on the porch. Yeah. How does he do all that, though? He just happens to. It's like the perfect Rube Goldberg machine with his wheelchair. Something like that. Aaron Click drops I like the hacksaw and head twist kill from the final chapter. Yes, we are talking. Let me bring that character's name up. We're talking Duder he was in the Police Academy movies as the klutzy guy. He was the rabbi in Seinfeld as well. And he plays the coroner in the final chapter here. Axel Burns. Oh my God, that line of dialogue where Nurse Roberta, Robbie says, what does she say? Axel, you're the Super Bowl of self-abuse. That's one of my favorite lines in the whole franchise. Axel, you are the Super Bowl of self-abuse. I fucking love that line right there. Yeah, that's a really good one. I like it. If Leatherface didn't care, why should Jason? It's true. It's true. I mean, Jason really, I feel like Jason extra doesn't care. Like if Jason sees you, it's like he has to kill you. It's like a compulsion. Michael will sometimes just be like, not in my way. Like, I don't care. Not my way. Whatever. Let's see what else we got going here. Everything about the Crispin death and aftermath is just so gnarly and gruesome. Yep. Yeah, it is pretty damn perfect here. Tina is Debbie Sue. Yeah. The shears. Oh my God, dude. Just, you know, you can tell they're heavy, but they sit so high and they sit so proud. And I gotta respect the hell out of that. And there's something about it. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I dig it. I like the honking sound. That's, you know, Jason had to do something different. And in that movie, I think they did a lot different, especially if you watch that cut that's got the, you know, the gore put in, because a couple of the kills are totally different. Two of them, I think, are completely different than what you see in the final film. Like they ended up just reshooting them completely. Tina from part 7, man, Bubba, when I was a kid, part 7 was my favorite because I was watching all of these on television. So they were all edited anyway. So, you know, now that I'm a lot older and I've watched them many times, you know, just on the Blu-ray and all that, you know, the New Blood is still kind of edited for TV other than like the nudity, unfortunately. But man, I really loved as a kid, you know, getting into comics and all that stuff. The idea of like, kind of like somebody with X-Men powers, you know, someone with Jean Grey abilities fighting Jason Voorhees just was so cool. Yeah, Tina is pretty awesome final girl for sure. R.I.P. to Lar Park Lincoln, man. All right, we got Dylan jumping in saying the uncut version of the head crush is beautiful. It is a shame, and we'll probably never get that. Yeah, telekinetic teenager. There it is. The fold kills are brutal, guys. Why don't more movies have fold kills? Where, you know, I know we're here to celebrate Jason. Is there another movie you know of that's got a fold kill? Let me know. Let me know. Joey's death in 5 was too brutal. Yeah, you know, it's too bad we didn't get to see that. How did his arm end up on his back? Did they like put his arm on his back before the cops showed up? Did the cops do that? You know, they take the sheet off Joey and his arm is just sitting there on his back. Very, very interesting. Seems like somebody played with the crime scene there. Yeah. Part 5, I'm trying to think too, like other, because there's so many cutaways. So I think, yeah, Tina with the eyes, that's pretty damn rough. Trying to think of another one that really like, you know, okay. In honor of, I believe his name is Corey Parker, who just passed away last week. I think it was on Thursday. Just 60 years old, guys. He played one of the greasers, Pete, the greaser from A New Beginning. I'll give his death, right? He's the one that gets the flare in the mouth. Does he get the flare in the mouth, or is it the other guy? Does he gets his knife, or he gets his neck slashed? Okay, so he gets his neck slashed. All right. Well, I'm gonna go for the flare in the mouth, but still, R.I.P. Corey Parker. But flare in the mouth from part 5, I like that one. That one is the brutal one that I dig. I wish we got to see more, but at least we get to see a little bit. Yeah. The uncut Jeff and Sandra was pretty cool for back in 1981. Ah, yes, the double kill with the spear taken from A Bay of Blood or Twitch of the Death Nerve, whichever one you prefer. Yeah, from what, 1970? When was A Bay of Blood? 78, 77, something like that. Yeah, I love that double kill. It was a good one in Bay of Blood. It works really well in Back to the Future, in Friday the 13th Part 2. Back to the Future. Man, I guess I gotta watch Back to the Future because it's just on my brain now. Now I'm not going to be able to let go of it. Yeah, uncut Jeff and Sandra kill. That is a good one. That is Marquis from part 2. I think, gosh, another one from part 2. You took a really good one there. You guys are taking all the good ones. What else do we got? We got, you know, Duder that gets his neck slashed, hanging upside down. That's all right. You know, that's all right. Gosh, I guess I got to think about part 2. You guys, these are the best ones. The double kill and the mark kill. Those are the best ones. Definitely, Sean. Welcome on in, man. Thanks for kicking it with us here. Let's see. We got Antonis Andriotis dropping a $4.99 just for fun. Just here, I'll say it again, just for me talking about Back to the Future Part 2 instead of Friday the 13th Part 2. What's going on, Davey? Are you even a real horror fan? The Man Collects says Part 7 when he kills the dude in the kitchen. Not the greatest kill, but seeing Jason standing in the corner when the lightning flashes made me not want to walk into my kitchen without the light on. Yeah, those are cool moments in Part 7. I love that. It's a very Michael Myers kind of moment to me. The revealing to the audience, that must have been so much fun. Sitting there in the theater in, what was it, 87 when that movie came out, 87 or 88. Seeing that and, you know, basically shouting for the guy to turn around and figure it out. Yeah, love that. There's a good Jason walking up on the kid that like writes the sci-fi stuff, like walking up from behind. Like that's another nice little creeper moment. Jason does the full on like jump through the window, you know, like leaps through the window and lands like on his feet. The Jason Superman pose, you know. There's a whole bunch of really cool moments in Part 7. Yeah, that's a good one, and definitely can, you know, notch up the kill there on the list for sure. Love the axe in the head in the OG. Yep. I think the OG is I mean, yeah, it's maybe like middle-ish of the road, middle top, second tier. But man, people really trash on that one, but I think it's pretty awesome. Claudette's death with a throat slit was cut deep. Yeah, Claudette and what's his face from the original? What is his face? Bartholomew Jackson. Stabbed in the stomach by Pamela with a knife as revenge for not watching or helping Jason. And then, of course, Claudette. Yeah, she got to get her throat slit. You know, what can you do? Sorry, Claudette. Sorry. Bill Brown. Okay, Bill. That's Bill, sir. We got Tia Nina dropping a $2 super chat. Says, what about Saturday the 14th? Yeah, what about it, Tia? I don't know. What do you guys want to do? What do you want to get into for Saturday the 14th? Holy cow, we reached our super chat goal. You guys are amazing. Let me, you know what? I said it. I'm gonna do another one. This is just gonna be a one-time super chat. It's gonna be a little heftier of a, you know, again, you're not obligated to do anything like to fulfill it, but you will get an entry and shout out on my top 13 kills of the Friday the 13th franchise video. How about it, guys? So you get an entry. So basically your favorite kill, I will talk about your favorite kill, I'll give you a shout out, we'll highlight it, all that kind of fun stuff. And there we go. This will just be a little fun way to get thrown in a video down the road. All right, you guys are amazing, by the way. Thank you so much. All the support from the super chats and purchasing memberships and everything. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so very much. I don't ever waltz into a stream expecting anything. I put it up there. Because I want this dream to become something I can, do even more and for a living. So I'm like, okay, let's just put it out there and see what they're feeling. And yeah, very encouraging. You guys are awesome. So thank you so very much. And Tia, I guess we got to plan something for Saturday the 14th. What do you guys want to do? I mean, I'm going to be watching 2 through 4 on Friday. So let's X watch party off the list for Saturday. But what can we do? What else can we do Jason related? Or maybe we can do a watch party. I don't know. We'll see. How about that? If you guys really want another watch party, we'll put something together for Saturday. Maybe that would be like a super chat goal that I could do for late night with the Davey on Wednesday. We'll see. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. Enough talking about the process. Bruce Marr is the name of the actor. Yeah, Axel. Okay, there we go. At this point, Lido is just like, he is the Wikipedia. Jason constructed those stairs just for the effect. It was something he wanted to see. He felt like they needed to fix the feng shui of the, campgrounds. Carrie Craves Cinema jumping on in. What's happening? Carrie, one of our great channel members, says Friday the 13th, the final chapter. That poor hitchhiker just wanted to get picked up. She didn't even get the chance to finish her banana. It's true. She gets totally punked. They're not very nice to her, especially Teddy, who is no prize himself, I'll say. Now, I'm not saying Teddy is like the ugliest guy. I'm just saying, like, come on, dude. Out of all the people in that car, you probably have the, least amount of ground to stand on as far as ripping into anyone else for their physical appearance. I'm just going to say, Teddy, I'm just going to say it. But yeah, it's a damn shame. She didn't do anything. She's guilty of, being a hippie in the early 80s. She is guilty of that. It's true. It's true. It wasn't as fashionable at that time. It was a little more fringe. But man, Jason really gives the grunt. Ted White's a grunty Jason. Have you guys noticed that in the final chapter? It's a lot of we don't really hear a lot of grunting from Jason outside of that movie. But yeah, man, he is none too pleased. And I'll give her this, she is eating a healthy option, although bananas, they're pretty high in sugar. So, but what can you do? But yeah, what an interesting kind of throwaway kill. Again, no one is too safe. And I guess by the fourth movie, they're just yeah, let's just introduce characters and get rid of them right away. Just get rid of them. Yeah, it's too bad. Too bad the way Teddy treats her. Sleeping bag kill for sure, says Steph. Welcome on in, Steph, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Ryan? Welcome on in, bud. Nothing much is, well, I guess a lot is good. Yeah, we're just talking about, Friday the 13th kills, having a blast. I'm going to check the poll, see where you guys are at on the poll. Oh my God, 39 votes. It's 54-46, guys, for the sleeping bag thwop. Can we get to 50 votes? Can we get to 50 votes and 50 likes? Probably not both. I think we can get to 50 votes though. So I'll call it at 50 votes if it gets to that spot. If not, no big deal. Let me just jump back on over, see what you guys are saying. Carrie says, not my favorite, of course. So many great kills in the franchise. Hats off for its innovation. Love the liquid nitrogen kill, or what she calls the cryo death. All right. Also love Kevin Bacon's as well. Yeah. Those are both tippy top. Let me see if I can throw one out there that hasn't been mentioned yet that I really, really, really like. Let's see here. I don't know if it's been said yet, but what about the sauna rock kill? That's pretty brutal. A rock so hot it rips through flesh. I mean, come on. That's pretty dope. I wish they could have showed it in excruciating fashion. But Jason Takes Manhattan just really isn't that kind of movie. Shout out to Jason Takes Manhattan, though, for the I can't remember the name of the character. I think it's Kelly Hu is the name of the actress. The kill in the disco. The way that Jason, after he has choked the life out of her, the way he throws her down, like it's just a fucking heavy doll. What a stunt. I hope that actress really didn't get hurt. It just feels and looks so fucking brutal and real. So even though they skimp on the gore in that movie, I'm going to give them credit, for the things that they do that do make me shudder, a little bit for sure. Actually eating ice cream though. I want some ice cream. Come on, Jigsaw. Give up a little ice cream. Part 7 is still my favorite, says Bubba Voorhees. I just wish the kills didn't get cut down. It's a real big shame. You hire John Carl Buechler, who's known for having some of the best effects in the genre, and then they tie his hands behind his back, basically, while making that movie. It's such a missed opportunity, such a shame. I hate that's part of the legacy of the franchise. Sean says that Regal is showing part 3 in 3D and the final chapter this Friday. Oh shit. I think we have a Regal out here in Phoenix, but it's really far away. So I never go to Regal, but that's awesome. Those are both great. I'm going to be watching 2, 3, and 4 here on the channel. So how about that? And you can watch right along with me. Violet had some moves in New Beginning. I hate that she died. I wanted more of her emo punk vibes. Man, they kill everybody in that movie. I was like wanting to say everyone, everybody. They kill so many people in that movie. And again, like even though Violet gets offed, like it's a lot those cutaway kills, man. You just see like what an impact into the stomach, but nothing really. And you know, I'm sure if you guys have like listened to the commentary or you know watched the interviews and everything, she was supposed to get you know stabbed right in the snatch originally. So wild, you know. Hell yeah, man. Are you going to the Regal, Shoddy? Welcome on in, by the way. Are you going to Regal to check those out, or are you just doing something with some buds? Oh, yeah. Those goddamn enchiladas. Yeah. Demons Kill in A New Beginning. I mean, everyone loves the song. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. And then, of course, the girl's like, hey, baby. Hey, baby. You're gonna get it, bitch. Miguel Nunez Jr., man, 1985 was his year. Not only was he in a Friday the 13th film, but he was also in Return of the Living Dead. Oh, man, what a year. I was fortunate enough to bump into Miguel after a convention here in the Phoenix area. Got to hang out with him a little bit at the bar, and very, very friendly guy. Very personable. Was you know, kicking it with fans like the whole night. It was super cool. Yeah, rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat. You. What is all the other funny shit he sings? I can't. I'm trying to think of it, but I can't with this other music going on in my head. A rat-a-tat-tooey. The greaser guys. One of them goes and takes a poo in the woods. That can't be comfortable, especially because you're about to go see some ladies and you're just like out in the woods. So how are you not going to just smell like shit when you run into these ladies? Yeah, you know, what's going on there? Jigsaw dropping a 2. Here is 8. Make it great. And I might as well just go through because you guys reached the super chat goal here. Let's see here. Which other ones did I miss? Still got to figure that one out. Ryan Michael drops a 199er as well. Says, I like Jason killing Freddy with his own glove. That is pretty damn awesome. Yeah, bursting through his chest. That's pretty killer. Like holding his arm and using the arm as like a sword, basically. That's pretty wild. They did a really good job at like figuring out how to end that and, you know, not have it be too lopsided for sure. Boom, there we go. Jigsaw with another 2 says, here's Everybody Dance Now. Thank you so much, Jiggy. Appreciate you. Antonis Andriotis dropping a 499 super chat. Says, my favorite kill in the whole franchise is the sleeping bag kill in part 7. And yes, man, I know that we all want to see those multiple hits, but damn, the one hit that they kept in the movie, it is pretty awesome. It's like, yeah, you want to see more. You don't need more. You'd like to see more. You don't need more, though. Of course, in this day and age, we want like all the blood we can get. But, you know, you kind of got that in Jason X if you wanted it to be a little more, you know, a little overzealous, a little more energetic. But yeah, man, what a classic kill. And the marquee kill of that film, for sure. You know, and that film's got a lot of really good moments. At least, like, you know, as a kid, I just remember all the moments where you see Jason, because Jason looks so awesome. So those moments where he's walking to and from the camera and you see the spine and you see all the ribs and everything. And, you know, like he's really been through the last few movies. Like you see that damage and wear on him. I love that. And it just, I think it makes all these kills stand out, including the amazing sleeping bag kill. And Lido dropping a $2 super chat says, in honor of this week's Friday the 13th. Oh, it's going to be a good one. We have a long wait between this one and the last one of the year, but at least we got 2 to start the year off. Not so bad. Not so bad, huh? All right, let's see here. There is an 80s movie called Saturday the 14th. Should we watch that on Saturday the 14th? Tia, I don't know. What do you think? Maybe you can rank the Friday the 13th hockey masks on Saturday the 14th. We could do something like that. I was thinking about that. I wanted to do one for the kills, but there's like 150. I can't, like, that would be too long of a stream. Everyone would die we would become too old. We would die of old age. It would be too long of a stream. And we did recently ranked the different iterations of Jason. So that's kind of like ranking the masks. I don't know. That's a problem that's got to be solved, because I do want to do things, throughout the whole weekend here to celebrate the day. That's usually what we do, Let's see what else we got here. I know she's a damn dirty hippie. It's kind of what you get. Love Jason's constipated grunts in final chapter. Yeah, to me, it just feels, Ted White's Jason runs and grunts just feels more brutal and more visceral. It feels like I don't know, kind of puts you there a little bit. Yeah, that's true. It is natural sugar. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Love Dana Kimmel and her final girl, Chris, in part 3, but would love to see her death as in the book. She gets beheaded in the novelization? Wow. So there's no final person in the novelization. That is hardcore. I can feel it right now that you're talking about it, Billy. I feel it getting shot in the groin. That is a really, really tough one. Yeah, that's rough. There was one, what was I thinking of? There's one from, it's not, whatever. It's not a death scene, so I won't talk about it. Horror March Madness tourney stream. Ooh, we could do something like that. The guys from Goodreel, Brett from Goodreel Hunting would shoot me a text and be like, the hell you doing a March Madness bracket for? You ripping us off? No. That could be cool. March Madness tourney stream. So Ben, let me pick your brain. Are you thinking like just ranking franchises, ranking the killers, ranking, what are we talking about? Franchise ranking or icon ranking? Now I'm so curious. Okay, let's see where we're at with the poll. 44 votes. Guys, I'm going to end it because Sleeping Bag Thwop has gotten a 10-point lead. So I think it's safe to say that one is Sleeping Bag Thwop as the winner. Let's see here. Horror. Oh my gosh. Come on, keyboard. Which topic do you want for a Horror March Madness tourney bracket? God, that's a lot of words. Franchise. So we're going to go by franchise bracket. We're going to go by icon. So it doesn't, whichever icon is the main stead of that franchise. I think that's good. Either icon or franchise. I think that's good. So let me know. That's a 50-50 poll for you guys, just to gauge your interest on that one. What's happening, Brad? Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Oh my gosh, isn't that a crazy kill though? Doesn't it just feel so real? Lido, I need to know how you feel about that. When she gets just thrown down like a rag doll there. The sauna rock kill for the boxer was supposed to be an arrow dart kill. Interesting. Okay. Well, we got the arrow dart thing in, in part 3. So there we go. All right. What do we got? What about Court's death in Jason Lives? That scene was a banger and also cut short. I love that double kill in Jason Lives. I think it's hilarious when the girlfriend gets like pushed through the side of the, of the Winnebago, of the RV. And it's like the metal is like, it's like a printing of her face, basically. Like, I love that effect. I think that's pretty awesome. I think Court is hilarious. Like, just the whole, like, this is great. This is great. I'm having such a great time. Like, the dialogue is like, there's something so meta about that movie on this low key kind of, well, there are things about the movie that are meta and in your face, like the way that the groundskeeper of the cemetery straight up looks at the camera and says, asks questions and says things. But even the way Court is behaving there is like this parody level, horror character kind of, right? Or, horror movie character, commenting on how much fun he's having as his, girlfriend is just being completely brutalized. And then he's like, what are you back there taking a dump? He's like throwing her shit. He has no idea until the literal last moment that he is about to get a fucking like Bowie knife in his head. Is it his neck or is it his temple? I thought it was I think it's in the side of his head. But yeah, and then even though it gets a little cut short, man, that wreck of the RV, the swamp cooler flying off of it. There's that great story about the swamp cooler where Tom McLaughlin, there was a producer that was a total prick during the shoot and wanted to make sure that they took the swamp cooler off so he could have it for his own personal use. And Tom was like, I can't stand that fucking guy. Leave the swamp cooler on. We're doing the stunt. We are going to destroy this thing. Which I love that little bit of sweetness that you get from the behind the scenes. So yeah, that's a really great kill. Thank you for bringing that one up, Billy. That's a really good one from my favorite film in the franchise. All right, let's see what else you guys got going on here. We got the fantastic Oracle saying, I just came in, chat. I'm a diehard and huge fan of the Friday the 13th franchise. Been a fan since I was a little kid. Hell yeah. What's your favorite, you know, maybe like a top three? You don't even have to rank the top three, just like your three favorite in the franchise, and throw out like a, you know, a favorite kill of yours. I'd love to hear what you got. Of course, you know, we've talked about the sleeping bag and the liquid nitrogen, and we even had a poll about those. You might have even seen the poll. So yeah, you know, but whatever you got, let me know. Fantastic Oracle. Thanks for coming in and hanging out once again. I believe you've been in before, so welcome on back. Bubba says, hot take, John Shepherd from part 5 is better than Tom Matthews. Oh, Bubba. I am not going to throw any shade at John Shepherd. I have no issues with his performance. I understand why Tommy, you know, was written the way he was, to show some of the reverberations of everything. I think maybe they diminished him a little bit too much. If we got a little bit more from Tommy in part 5, I probably would have felt a little bit more with his turn to the dark side at the end. And it just would have been nice to get a little something else from our, you know, he's kind of our beacon. He's the character that he's a legacy character at that point, technically speaking. So I want just a little bit more for him in the script, because I think John did a really good job. I mean, got ripped to shit for that movie. Holy cow. That was before the days of every actor getting a six-pack, you know, before they made a movie, or every actor having a six-pack. Dude, John Shepherd is absolutely cut in A New Beginning. It's wild. And, you know, these franchises, they do weird stuff. Like, you know, we think Tommy's going to be the killer based on the ending of the final chapter. Then they do the same fake out ending in A New Beginning. They even make us think that maybe he's the one doing the killing in A New Beginning. You know, they don't really, the whodunit, you know, breadcrumb trail isn't very well, you know, laid out in that movie. But there is some sort of question of like, where's Tommy while all of this stuff is going on? And then to have him turn at the end, but then in Jason Lives, we get a much more, yes, Tommy's still troubled. He still was at the facility and everything, but we get a version of Tommy from Tom Matthews that is troubled, but also with it mentally. And, you know, he's still talking. He can still relate with people. He's, you know, the synapses are firing. He's very well aware of his role and everything, and is very proactive in trying to do something about Jason. I prefer the Tom Matthews version because I like that version of Tommy more. And I do love Tom Matthews as a performer. There's something so sincere and genuine in his voice. Something he's carried as a performer in everything he's been in. He brings it back as Tommy in the Never Hike Alone films as well, where there's just this sincerity. It's a very charming kind of thing that Tom Matthews has. But yeah, no shade at John Shepherd. I think he did everything he could with what he had, for sure. And I know that's not really a kill, but I just wanted to take the opportunity to talk about it. How about that? Let's see here. It is a hot take. It is, yeah. What's happening? We got Mark from Tales from the Shelf joining us. What's happening, Mark? Welcome on in. Holy cow, dude. That picture of you with Ethan Embry, he is unrecognizable in that picture. I was like, oh, what rock star is Mark hanging out with? Oh shit, that's Ethan Embry. Oh wow. I did not know Ethan Embry was a member of the Black Crowes. I had no idea. Had no idea he was the fill-in bassist for Motorhead until 5 years ago. I had no idea. No idea. Welcome on in, Mark. Hope you're doing well, man. Fantastic Oracle says, just want to say this, you're not considered a true Friday the 13th fan if you don't watch the original film from 1980. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like that one, Oracle, but I do. And I do watch that one. Yeah, I watch it quite a bit. At least once a year, I would say. Still great, just like John Shepard. Yeah. Hey, and you know, that's the cool thing. Like, you know, we all have different tastes, right? So I love, like, you know, I find that I share a lot of some of the, you know, more kind of accepted takes within our community, but I certainly have like my takes that are, you know, a little bit more off the mark. So we all have got those, you know, things that we appreciate that maybe we find a lot of people don't appreciate as much, or there aren't as many people that appreciate it as much. But I know John Shepard's got to have, that's the cool thing about horror fans, is there is a group of horror fans where one character or one actor is their favorite in the entire franchise, and maybe they were only in one movie. That's the beautiful thing about us as horror fans. Come on, motherfucker, this thing ain't starting. Come on, motherfucker, fix the fucking car. Rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat-tooey. Is that good? What do you get? You guys like that? Do you like that? He did, yeah, on Thursday. Rest in peace. Yeah, we talked about him a little bit ago. Really sad. Cancer doesn't care who you are, what you've done, how well you've tried to take care of yourself. I mean, those things can, certain things can increase risks, but man, cancer just does not care. It's really sad. And 60 is pretty damn young to go. I'm just going to say it. I know that to a lot of people, 60 seems old, but it's pretty rough. No worries, Nanette. You are free to come and go as you please. That is the lovely part of this YouTube community. And if you miss anything, you can always rewind, or even if it's easier for you to watch later, like totally okay. You can always jump in the comments section and chime in there. But yeah, you know, hang out whenever you can. We appreciate you being here regardless. Saturday the 14th is terrible. All right, I'll avoid that one. I watched Rush Week last night from 1989. I saw it on a Cobwebs channel list video, and I was like, well, Daniel like seemed to have fun with this one, and I've never heard of it. Let's watch a late 80s, you know, college slasher that I've never heard of. It had a good production value, but not that good. Not that good of a movie. I started to lose my patience at the end. They did it alternate ending. Okay, where Chris gets her head chopped off. Wow, that would have been wild. I'm not the hugest Chris fan. I don't completely dislike her as a character, but man, she is really playing with Duder's heart there and his dong, you know. What's his friggin' name? I always forget guy's name. Why do I always, like, she yells his name and I'm sitting like, why do I always forget his name? Let's see here. It is Rick. There we go. Rick. He's like getting his head crushed. I'm right here, bitch. I'm getting my fucking head crushed. You want to help a motherfucker out? You can't help me out with this. And then now you're not helping me out with this. Like, what good are you, Chris? You know? End rant on Chris. I know a lot of people really love Chris. I don't know. Maybe March Mayhem. We can call it something else. Yeah. But I just want to know what you guys want to talk about. That is a good question, Antonis. That is a good question. Here, I'm going to get it from your super chat because, man, Antonis dropped a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so very much, dude. Very, very much appreciate it. Will you ever bring on more guests on Late Night with the Davey? I know. I used to do a guest every time. Guys, it can be kind of tough, like, every week trying to get something, you know, someone ready and a topic lined up and everything. It can be pretty tough. So, you know, yeah, I backed off on it a lot more than I had intended to. but it made things a lot easier, a lot more streamlined. But Antonis, this Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, Vincent DeSanti from Womp Stomp Films is going to be our guest. So he's going to guest on Late Night with the Davey. We are going to talk about, it's going to be an emergency meeting for the Friday the 13th franchise. So we're going to go over everything. And that's going to be a series, guys, popping off here. So franchise emergency meeting, we're going to tackle all of them. And I'm going to bring on at least one guest is the idea, to have that dialogue and conversation and open up the chat with you guys as well. So yeah, more guests on Late Night with the Davies coming. I don't think it's going to be a weekly thing, Antonis, but I do want to work that back in to what we do here for sure. Thank you so much, man, for the $9.99. Really do appreciate you. Boom, look at that. Hollywood Lido dropping the $10 super chat to fulfill the second super chat goal, guys. So Lido is going to have his own pick in the next video and a little shout out. So Lido says, in honor of the November Friday the 13th, getting ahead of myself, but Jen will be here for that one. So we'll be going big on that evening. So since I probably won't be present for that one, here. Thank you so much for the tenor, Lido. If you can pick one of those kills, I know you listed one from every movie. If you could pick one of those that you want me to discuss on my top 13 kills in the Friday the 13th franchise, Lido, which kill do you want me to talk about while giving you your shout out? Let me know. I'm sorry, guys. My nose is so itchy. I can't control it. I just can't. Sorry. It's just something that's going to be done. And Lido, again, thank you so much for the tenor. You are amazing. All right. Fantastic Oracle says, Davey, if you had the deluxe edition DVD, I believe it might be on other formats of part 8, but they do have deleted scenes where the dart scene for the boxer stayed film. Okay. Maybe I have seen them on I have that, the Blu-ray box. So if it's in there, I've probably seen it, but maybe not enough to have it, burned into my memory. All right, let's see what we got going on here. No, there could never be a rift between us. There could never be. And, I'm sure there are got to be plenty of channels that do brackets, right? Brackets are just a thing. So I think of them because they do them quite a bit. But I'd imagine it's like doing a tier maker thing. Like if somebody accused me, you're ripping me off. It's like, okay. Were you the very, 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 very first person to ever do a tier maker ranking? All right, let's see what else we got here. Rob's death in the final chapter was so sad. His line, he's killing me. I think that's very scary. I like the he's killing me. And his death is a bummer. Like you do think Rob's going to make it, or maybe you want to see Rob die. Like he's there for like the very end and just doesn't, he sacrifices himself so they can, land the final blow kind of thing. But yeah, I guess maybe that movie's getting a little bloated with Tommy and Trish. Yeah. March Horror Nights. Yeah. Mayhem. Malarkey. March Malarkey. Court's dialogue in Jason Lives might be the best writing in any Friday the 13th. Yeah, when he's explaining the rocks. So like when your chief wants to go get away from his wife and go see his squaw or what have you. Yeah, all that stuff is great. All right, what else? I'm going to catch up here. And man, they took that line. That is something that is from a true story. And I know I've talked about it before. I think a lot of horror people have talked about it before, but it's one of those things a lot of fans are like, oh, that's so corny or cheesy that they have that line in there. And the wild thing is that's taken from a true story, probably the most famous story of bystander apathy. So it's a very famous, this woman was literally running down the streets. I can't remember what neighborhood. I believe it was in New York City somewhere. As somebody was attacking her and she's running away after she's already been attacked and she's yelling, he's killing me in the streets. And multiple people told the police that they heard that and no one went out to help. So it might seem kind of cheesy within the context of an 80s slasher movie. But the crazy thing is in that actual moment where somebody is hunting you like an animal, that's something you might actually say. It's wild. Let's see here. Oh my God. Yeah, Marcy's is great. Yeah, the uncut version of the first movie is really good. Thank you so much for kicking it, Fantastic Oracle. We'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your night. I know it's super late out there for you guys out on the East Coast. We are approaching 11:30, but we're going to keep this thing rolling because you guys reached that first super chat goal. So we're going to go. We're just going to keep it rolling. We'll see how far this thing takes us, right? If it takes us to the 2-hour mark, perfect. If it fizzles out before then I'll go get food before then. How about that? Yeah, 60 doesn't. Yeah. Holy cow, 51, Lido. Don't look a day over 15. Flip it. 15. There you go. Are you old enough to have a license, young man? My parents passed at age 68, and everyone tells me that was too. It is, Tia. I'm so sorry. I mean, my parents are in their mid 70s right now. 76. Yeah. I'm so sorry. It is too young. I'd be like anything before 80, you know? That isn't me saying, hey, once you're 80, it's time to go. I just mean like, you know, or that you'd be any more okay losing somebody at that age. It just seems like anything before 80, you're like, they got screwed out of time. All right, yeah, Rick. I know. I don't know why I always forget his name. I think I just feel so bad for him, and I just want to erase the bad memory. And then he just gets thrown through the window like a total bitch too. You know, it's a great shot though of Jason climbing through that window there. That is a good one. Excuse me, I had to burp. You can, Nanette, depending on what it is though, because we're here talking about Friday the 13th. I might just have to answer it somewhere down the line. All-time favorite Friday the 13th kill from Charlie Cameron. Gosh, I hesitate to tell you because I want to put together my list and I don't want to blow my list. So can I just mention one that we haven't talked about yet? Can I do that? There's gotta be one that we haven't talked about yet. Oh, here's one that I really think is great because I want to know. I wish I could see the behind the scenes on how they shot it. So, I'm not saying this is my favorite kill. I love the way it's shot. I like creative camera movements and stuff like that, Charlie. By the way, welcome on in, man. I don't know if you've ever hung out here before. You're kicking it with the Death Squad. Yeah, hope you're having a great time. So, in the 09 remake, when the police officer finally makes his way to the cabin and like knocks on the door, and they do this really cool thing where Jason like jumps down from the roof. He's got like a poker from like the fireplace or something. He puts it like through the back of the guy's head and it goes through the door, right? But the camera like almost swings like through the wall, right? Like there's a cutout in the wall or there's no wall there because you see the police officer as he's getting stabbed. The camera moves and you see the side of the door and then you see them on the other side. Sorry, I know I'm freaking out my own camera while I'm talking about camera movement. It's just this really, really cool creative way of shooting it to where it can be the seamless movement of the camera, even though we know there's a wall right there. Like, I love that kind of stuff. Like floating camera kind of shots are pretty cool. So we haven't mentioned that one yet. I always mention it whenever I watch that movie or, you know, I think about that one because I love how creative it is, even though it's not the bloodiest or anything like that. But I do really like that kill. So there you go, Charlie. Gave you one. Mark, I will keep it in mind, brother. Yes, we should have you back for sure. And absolutely for franchise talk. It would be maybe a Silent Hill emergency franchise meeting. Something like that. Because I know you're into the games and I know you pay attention to the films as well. So yeah, Mark, I'll keep that in mind. We got to have you back on either way. But for a guest, absolutely. Let's see here. Nanette's dropping the sleeping bag kill for Charlie. There you go. You know what? Is it okay if I pick a different one? Dude, whatever. You paid the $10, Lido. You could make up you know, any other kill from the franchise. Doesn't have to be one of the ones you listed. I just thought you would pick one. That's why I said it. Always thought Rob shouting he's killing me was tragic and sad. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like in the last moments of your life, you might not be able to articulate what's going on. You know, it's just like that moment is just literally in his face. It's pretty wild. Yeah. Yeah, what do you say? I guess nothing, or you say something like he's killing me. Yeah, it is. It is. And yeah, R.I.P. Eric. I think we just lost. Was it just last year that we lost him? Very recent. All right, let's see here. Playing devil's advocate, it seems like something you could say if you wanted help. Yeah, it's true. He should have been like, get the hell away, Trish, or hit this fucker. Do something. Which Eddie death do you prefer, the one in part 5 or the one in part 7? Eddie death. I need to see the characters because I don't know them that well. I don't know the names of all the characters in every sequel that well. I guess I'm a fake fan. Wait, Eddie death from part 5 or part 7? Let me just I'll actually bring up the Wikipedia. We're here to talk about Jason kills, so let's just talk about him. Let's see here. Eddie. Who's Eddie from part 5? Oh, Eddie Kelso, head crushed against a tree by Roy. Okay, with the belt. Okay, there we go. And then Eddie in part 7 is decapitated by Jason with a machete. Eddie McCarlo, is he the kid that writes the sci-fi stuff? Or is he the one in the kitchen? I'm gonna say the head crush on the tree with the belt, even though they kind of screw it up by reversing the way the hands are moving. I don't care. I know they do that, but that seems like a really brutal way to go, like a medieval punishment kind of way to go. So I'm gonna go with part 5, Eddie from part 5. It's true, better out than in. Yeah. Does the dog in the final chapter leap out of the window to get away? I prefer to think that rather than he's getting thrown out. Plus, it looks like he's intentionally jumping. He's so bailing. Yeah, Gordon is fucking out of there. He is like, I did not sign up for this. I signed up for treats, belly rubs, and, sniffing other dogs' butts. So, yeah, it is like, does he survive the fall? I guess we never get confirmation on that, huh? How brutal would it have been if like Jason throws like the dog's body through the window or something before bursting through the door? Brutal. Holy cow, Jigsaw gifted a channel membership. Let's see who got that one. Boom! Tales from the Shelf. Our good buddy Mark out there in Jersey picking up the channel membership. Congratulations, Mark. All right, guys, we got that poll up there. Which topic do you want for a horror March Madness tourney bracket? 77% of 22 people are saying franchise. Ooh, yeah. All right. God, I hope I can find something that's already been made online, because I know if I made one myself, even if I find a template online, there's going to be like, how come this franchise isn't on there? Probably not from you guys, but I know I'm going to catch some strays in the comments section after the fact. But yeah, we'll have some fun with it. I think that could be cool. We've never really done, we've done the live tier maker rankings here where you guys do the voting, which I absolutely love. I have so much fun doing that with you guys. We've never done something like this, like a horror March Madness. Okay. Do you guys want me to have you vote on it live? I guess vote on it live and we discuss it. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Simple enough. And yeah, man, how epic is this fucking thing going to get? It's going to get crazy. That's going to be crazy. Okay. I'm just going to let it. I'm just like thinking about it and I'm already getting overwhelmed. I already have anxiety about something that is probably going to be fun, but hey, that's the Davey Deathray way. All right. Let's see here. Have I ever heard of and seen the movie franchise Witchcraft? And if yes, what do you think of them? I've never seen anything called Witchcraft. I've seen the first Witch Board, and I liked that one. I've seen The Craft, and I like The Craft quite a bit, but yeah, I've never seen anything called Witchcraft. Yeah. There's so many I haven't seen, Nanette. I know you threw out a whole bunch just last week. I did see, so what was it? There were a couple you were talking about. I'm going to watch April Fool's Day here, probably tonight. Slaughter High is on my list. So there were a couple that you had mentioned that I made sure to move to my list there. All right, what else do we got here? Yeah, and you'd be able to teach me because I've seen 2 of the movies and I've never played any of the games. But we could still do a cool emergency little meeting for that. Or we can cut it up and talk some shop and find out something good, because for those franchise meetings, I want to have at least one guest. So it'd be really cool for something like that. Hell yeah, Jiggy is just, man, he's been amazing with the gifted memberships and the super chats and everything. It's awesome. All right, Lito is going with the Hawks kill from Livs. It's so shocking, and I think it really set the tone for Jason and his power moving forward. Hawes kill. Which one is that in Jason Lives? Oh, the ripping of the heart through his back. Right? Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. That is, and it's funny because Jason Lives, I feel like it was one of those movies that the MPAA wasn't terrible on it, but they did have to cut quite a bit of gore. They didn't have to get rid of all of it. It wasn't as bad as The New Blood or Jason Takes Manhattan or even A New Beginning. I think Jason Lives was treated a little bit better, probably because of the comedic elements. So good on you, Tom McLaughlin. But yeah, that heart ripping out, like the Hawes kill, is damn brutal. What a way. I mean, that opening scene is so good in Jason Lives. And what a huge kill to have. Yeah, like you're saying, it shows his power. It is the first time we truly see zombie Jason. So it's like the first time I always think he had something supernatural going on, Jason. I think being a revenant, there's like the human Jason that was a revenant that just, didn't really die, but then he does die in the final chapter, comes back in Jason Lives, and there's a whole nother layer of supernatural. Now he's a revenant and he's also a zombie. It's a whole different thing. A zombie with some oomph. That's a good one. Lito. All right, Hawes from Jason Lives. I'm going to screen cap that moment here because I don't want to forget it. Lito. There we go. Cool. Got it. It is pretty cruel. It is like a medieval death, right? A medieval punishment. It seems very torturous, Gordon's great. Guys, if you play a drinking game, every time they say Gordon, there's like one scene that's just like you might die. Like they don't say his name all throughout the movie, but oh my gosh. There's one scene alone where Corey Feldman's like, "Hey there, Gordon. What's happening, Gordon? Hey, you got a girlfriend, Gordon? What you doing, Gordon?" And it's like, oh my God, stop saying Gordon, dude. Stop it. It's weird now. It sounds weird now. Who names a dog Gordon? Okay, enough of that. Gorehound Gazette jumps on in with a $5 super chat, says favorite kill Sandra and Jeff in part 2. Favorite performance while being impaled? Juliet Cummins in A New Beginning. Oh, Juliet Cummins in A New... Which one does she play in A New Beginning? Because I have the character names here. I don't have the actors and actresses' name. Unless that is. Oh, I'm looking at it here. Is she the one that gets... killed in bed? Is that the one you're talking about there? Gorehound Gazette, by the way, thank you so much for your 5. Really do appreciate it. I mean, Sandra and Jeff are great. I mean, raise your hand in the chat. Put like put a hand up or something. Have you seen A Bay of Blood or Twitch of the Death Nerve? Whichever, it's the same movie. It just has multiple names. Have you ever seen that movie? Because that movie, to me, has like inspired a lot of the look and the feel of, I would say, the first 3 Friday the 13th movies. Those first 3 have a little bit of that Italian giallo surrealism in there. And straight up, the Sandra and Jeff kill is taken right out of A Bay of Blood. A Bay of Blood is a wildly entertaining movie. It's a really, really good one. Mario Bava, oh my God. Mario Bava is so good at making movies. The camera work and the lighting and everything is just masterclass almost every time, and he was the camera operator, which is even cooler. I just want to shine a light on him because I know we love that Sandra and Jeff kill. I think it's awesome, and I just want to pay respects to where it came from originally. Juliet Cummins. I guess I got to look this person up because I just feel like I'm not even a fan anymore with you guys throwing out all the knowledge you're throwing out here. Yes, she is the okay. She's the girl. Yes, she gets killed in bed. She rejects the duder with the stutter. He's laying in her bed dead, and somehow she doesn't notice until she completely turns over. So while she's getting into bed, I guess she doesn't see a corpse looking at her in that moment. All right. That's kind of bringing it back to the Kevin Bacon kill, right? Jason's kind of Jason's taking moves from Mommy, with the arrow, and then Jason, I guess it's not even Jason, it's fucking Roy with the machete. There you go. Triple decapitation, that one's pretty fun too. Would be awesome to see that full thing with all the heads falling and all the blood spurting and everything, but nope. Well, we would have a bracket, but you guys, there would be a vote each, on each matchup for you guys in the live audience. Poll with 2 L's, Jiggy. Not the dirty kind of poll. Davey, have you seen the movies The Collector and The Collection? I think they're great movies. I've seen the first one. So I've seen The Collector, I believe, a couple times. I did a review with Trisha McMasters, one of our great community members here. But I've not seen the sequel yet. They killed the guy from Welcome Back, Cotter. I know. That was, everyone was shouting that. They couldn't believe it. They were like, oh my God. Oh my God, Sandy, they killed the guy from Welcome Back, Cotter. Oh my God. I can't believe it. He was a good friend. He is a little jittery. I don't think he could protect himself very well. Probably regretted going out with Tommy even before he had his heart literally ripped out. He probably regretted it, Technically not Friday the 13th, but the tent scene in Kill in Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah. Oh, it totally counts. Yeah. I mean, it's the Friday the 13th franchise. So we're counting the movies that have the Jason titles for sure. Yeah, that one is hardcore, dude. Taking a street sign with that jagged kind of way that those things are shaped and just like the stab and the rip up. Oh, so good. The effects are so good in those moments. New drink game. Take a shot every time he says Gordon. Gordon, you got a girlfriend there, Gordon? What's happening, Gordon? Stop saying his name, kid. Stop saying his name so much. There was a double kill, Steven and Annette in Jason Lives. Yes. Yeah, Steven gets the stab and the throw over the shoulder. It's amazing. Oh my God, it's so good. What a total punk. Or are you talking, or Steven and Annette? Oh yeah, the double, you're talking about the couple that picnics late at night. Who the fuck who's doing a picnic in the moonlight? Is that a thing? With like actual food and everything and all that? I think that's who you're talking about. That's Steven and Annette. Is that right, Billy? Right? Yeah, because it's Darren and Elizabeth are the ones in the VW bug. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's weird. A weird thing to name naming your dog Gordon. All right. Yeah, I mean, especially because it's been over 7 months since I've had a drink, I would be, dead very early on. David Rain jumping on in. What's happening, David? Thank you for kicking it with us. You're hanging with the Death Squad. Wants to know if I'm going to be at CinemaCon. Ooh, where's CinemaCon? I don't travel to cons. So, the channel's still relatively small. It would be really cool to get to the point where, going out to, traveling for cons was something I could do, either because I would have a table or be involved in some sort of panel or something like that. Would be amazing to be a part of something like that. I mean, the channel would have to find a lot, some really great success for that to be a thing. So maybe it's somewhere down the line. Las Vegas, April 13th through 16th. Probably not going to go there. I'm not too far away. I'm really not too far away. Maybe I need to make plans. Do you guys want to see me go to CinemaCon in April in Las Vegas? Beautiful, sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. Let me know, guys. We'll put out a GoFundMe. Send Davey to the CinemaCon 2025 in Las Vegas, Nevada. He's going to hang out with David Rain. He's going to hang out with that horror couple. He's going to go to the punk rock museum, maybe hang out with Nightmare Christie, watch some scary movies. I don't know why I'm doing that voice. I just wanted to speak in a character. Billy's seen Bay of Blood. Boom. Lito's seen Bay of Blood. Yes. I know it took me, I had to like talk myself into it. I'm like, is she the one with the really tiny tits? Yes, she is. There we go. All right. Jake is the dude with the stutter. All right, man. He just really didn't stand a chance because it's not even just that. He looked like he was from the 50s and he could, you know, didn't know how to talk to girls anyways. So, you know, like the way you let a girl know you like her isn't like, I want to be with you. So I don't think people like hearing that as the first thing that you say to them, to let them know you have feelings for them. Like, I need to be in you, by the way. I know I'm just letting you know that I like you, but like, if we could make the happen, like, right, meow, that would be preferable. It's just not the tactic. Jakey, about to make a big mistakey. All right, and it says, here's a list of movies I talked about. Demons 2, Dead Time Stories, Henry. Oh, yeah, Henry. That one's going to kill me. Maximum Overdrive. I did watch that one. Demons 2 is coming up for sure. I've seen House. Yeah, I like House. Okay, so I've seen like half of those movies, so it's not so bad. But yeah, Henry, I'll be watching that one this year. Demons 2, I'll be watching this year for sure. And I plan on doing Slaughter High. So cool. Basically what I've been doing, guys, when I've been looking, I'm trying to watch 365 movies I've never seen this year. So right now I'm going to 1986 horror movies I've never seen just to try to watch some of these that are celebrating 40 years. All right. The ants need to eat at night too, Davey. Which ants? Oh, picnic. It's my brain is like it's slowly making its way to the point of your joke, Tia. Like, you had a good thing to say in the chat, and my brain like I had to take the longest route, and then ding, there we go. They do. What's funny to me is like, I love that scene because first off, it's a picnic at night. They're drinking champagne and having like some sort of sexy food, and then she is like accusing him of just trying to like getting it on outside, and then he like proposes to her. It's just a very confusing sequence of events. If you agree to go have a picnic with somebody late at night, I think they're in the right to expect that you're going to be getting into some hanky panky. That's all I'm going to say. Like, don't agree to the picnic at night if you don't want a little smooching. Sean G jumping on in. What's up, G? So great to see you. Says, any Ethel and Junior fans out there? I loved their crazy back and forth. Deserved a much better death scene, or they deserved much better death scenes. Junior's was okay. Yeah, you know, Ethel just sort of gets almost like something ripped right out of a 3D horror film, you know, like just grabbed through the window and like what, stabbed and dunked, I think is what happens. Hardly see anything for Ethel. Yeah, it's too bad. And yeah, the shot of Junior's head like tumbling along, that should have been a little bit longer. I think there's a longer cut that they decided to not use in the final version the MPAA made them cut it short a little bit. I do love Ethel and Junior, both of them. Probably my favorite characters from those movies, or from that movie, just because they're like the one-liners that Ethel says are amazing. Like, I got a bomb on me, Sheriff, like stuff like that. And the things that she says to Junior, like, you know, calling him a dildo, like, will you shut the fuck up? Shut up and eat your slop. And then all the Junior lines too. He hurt me, Ma. I don't know. I love Junior and Ethel. And I got a soft spot for Junior because I've been fortunate enough to work with Ron Sloan a couple times, just at the cons, like not working with him, but just hanging out at the table and being there, at the horror show table and everything like that. So when he's doing his signings and talking to people and all that kind of stuff, just like helping out and being there. So I've gotten to know him a little bit, like chit-chatting about, personal life stuff and horror fandom stuff and all that. So I've always loved these characters, but after getting to know, Ron a little bit, love for Junior even more. Absolutely. Ron is such a nice guy, just a lovely person. Slasher Fred says Marcy's death in the original, what makes her murder so intriguing is that it pays homage to the famous reveal scene in Psycho with the light swinging back and forth. That is a really nice little point there, Slasher Fred. Thank you so much for jumping on in. And man, Marcy's kill is getting a lot of play. It was one of the first ones mentioned, and we're still talking about it, and it's because it looks really cool. And it's like, it's just visceral enough, it's just bloody enough, it's not too over the top, it's not too elongated or anything, and it's got that light swinging back and forth that we love seeing those shadows change. Still camera, still performer, and seeing everything just sort of like warp, from the light swinging back and forth. Great stuff. And yeah, I mean, man, in a lot of ways, and you'd probably agree with this, Slasher Fred, I think in a lot of ways, Friday the 13th takes a lot from Psycho. And it's very, it's a movie from 1980 that feels like a movie from the 60s, mostly because of the Harry Manfredini soundtrack and score. So, like, I love that about these early movies. And I think in 2, he does an even better job. I don't know, Lito, I don't know if you can back me up on that one or if you would say different, but I think the score is better in part 2. Especially during like the big old chase scene between Ginny and Sackhead Jason. Something about the music there that I'm just like, oh my God, I feel like I'm watching a classic film that's like way older than it is. There's something so classic about it. Love it. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. Straight into the point. Yeah. I need to be in you. I'm Jake. You're whatever her name is. Jake probably go around to every chick in the house and pull that one. He probably tried it on Vi like the day earlier, If we could make the happen right now. Glad I could get you with that one, Gorehound. Glad I could get you. Hey, your super chat money is well spent if I'm making you ROTFL. How about it? What's happening, Chris? Welcome on in from Chris and Shell Talk Movies. I said watch movies earlier. It's talk movies, guys. When Shell was in earlier, I said watch movies. Terrible. What's happening, Chris? Hope you are doing well. What's your favorite kill in the Friday the 13th franchise? Are you and Shelby gonna do anything for the holiday, as it were? Curious to know. Davey, mentally prepare yourself for Henry. It's grim. I know. I've put it off for years. I've known I should watch it for years. I probably have a burned copy on DVD from like when I was in my 20s. And I've just looked at it and never watched it. It's like I Spit on Your Grave. I've had a copy of that and I just look at it and I'm like, I don't think I can ever watch you. After seeing stuff like Last House on the Left, which is very difficult to watch. I've never seen the remake. I'd hope the remake's difficult to watch too, but man, that original is really tough. Yeah, I have a tough time with that gritty, real feeling kind of stuff. So yeah, I appreciate the heads up, Aaron. I figure, when I went and watched the Terrifier movies a couple years ago, I was like, I know this is going to be like going to the dentist to have like 3 or 4 fillings done at once. Like, I'm not going to love this, but I'll be happy to say that I did it once I'm done. So there we go. Yeah, he survived it a while, huh? Yeah. Well, it's because they had to do the whole boy cried wolf thing. So yeah, when we try to justify like the Shelley kill, I guess you could just say it wasn't that deep and he just bled out slow. Something like that. I don't know. Cleaver in the face. Yeah, and it just comes at her through the window and she like falls in the the stew, whatever her stew. It's just veggies in water. I mean, sitting in a sink. I don't think it's quite stew yet. Funniest thing about Ethel's death scene is look at the cleaver the next time you watch the film. When Roy pulls it out of her face, there's no blood on it. Yeah, that movie, man. I know it's got its lovers. Each one of these movies is celebrated within the franchise, but it really does bum me out that in A New Beginning, the blood is almost completely removed as it pertains to actually seeing the violence. It's like when what's-her-face, Lana gets killed in the parking lot outside of the restaurant. You know, it's like, I think there's blood on like the pavement, you know, but you just don't really see like the impact of the axe. Like there's just so much taken out of that movie. And it's got tits galore. It's like Rush Week. Rush Week last night that I watched, cutaway kills, tits galore. Like, so you have a rated R movie. Why are you worried about the gore? I don't know. I mean, when you're going to like throw tits in our face every 2 seconds, like I think some blood would probably pass the MPAA as well. Yeah, no one ever found out that Ethel ever passed away because Junior wasn't around either. I have never watched the TV series Slasher Fred. I've watched YouTubers cover it, so I know about it, like the episodic nature, and it's got like a Buffy kind of vibe. And I know that it had like the guy that played Steven in Jason Goes to Hell plays a different character in the TV show. I like him a lot as Steven in Jason Goes to Hell, so maybe I need to check that out. Oh my gosh, guys, we got to talk about some kills from Jason Goes to Hell, because I think that's one other than the tent scene. I don't think we've really talked about it. I'm going to hit my pen and get a little crazy here for the last 15 minutes. Just let me, okay? Just let me. Man, I know it's, you know, a different kind of Jason, but the diner scene in Jason Goes to Hell is fucking epic, dude. Like the, you know, elbowing in the mouth of the, what's her name? The chick that owns the restaurant. Like that is brutal. The breaking of the hand with the bone sticking out of the wrist. Those are both pretty damn hardcore there. Yeah, man, Jason Goes to Hell has some really epic kill scenes. And even like, I know it veers into like the Evil Dead side of things, but like the melt scenes in that movie, with the jaw sticking to the floor and like coming apart, just all of that is, you know, brutal. And something I really liked seeing in a Jason movie, even though like Jason Goes to Hell, I get it, people rip on it a lot. I think if it had a better soundtrack, it would probably climb up my list a couple spots. But the quality of the audio that was recorded, just the quality of instruments that were used, were not good for Jason Goes to Hell. It sounds really chintzy and really cut rate production value. Gorehound says, I hate that we will never get a director's cut of A New Beginning. The director once commented in an interview that the kills were so graphic that it was the equivalent of a slasher. Damn. Yeah, it's too bad. And it looks like they had to reshoot a lot of those kills because, you know, like Lito said there, even when they pull the cleaver out, there's no blood on it. So who knows? It's a shame. If these movies were made, you know, in this era, all of that stuff would have been saved for, you know, bonus material on the physical release and stuff like that. So it is crazy to think. And, you know, to your point, Gorehound, if, you know, the New Blood were made in this era, we would have gotten the full John Carl Buechler version, you know. And now, unfortunately, the stuff that ended up on the cutting room floor, the best quality we have, at least that's been found so far, I believe is a VHS quality. So it's a shame. I've watched that version of it. If you guys are fans of the New Blood and you want to see the version, I think you can do a search for it. You can probably find it out there on the internet. Somebody sent it to me and it was great. Like, yeah, it dips into that lower quality, but they cleaned it up like pretty well and they mixed them in seamlessly. There isn't this weird, like it was a really smooth edit, I'll say, even though I know when we're on the degraded footage, it's a smooth edit. And it was cool to see a couple of those kills that play out totally different, like completely differently in the third act, second to third act. So There you go. There you go. Agree about the score in part 2 being better. Yeah, it just seemed like it was a more of a character, or that it was like really playing with the dynamics of what we were seeing on film. You know, it was a better marriage between audio and visual in part 2, and editing. It's got to be a part of it as well. Let's see here. True. Yes. Like Tia. Putting Rush Week on my watch list. Yeah, I would say the biggest crime it committed ultimately is that it was boring. Like by the end, I was like, okay, like it wasn't incompetent. It was just boring. It's like a 2-star movie for me. Hot take from Nanette. I like all of the Friday the 13th movies except for Jason X. What is it about Jason X that's just a bridge too far for you, Nanette? I gotta know. I'm not the biggest fan of Jason X either. I know usually I like the big swings and all that stuff. I think it's just a low production value for me for the product that we got. But I think there's like a kind of a cool concept, fun concept there at the very least, right? Tits in my face every 2 seconds. That sounds like a lot of my dreams. Hey-ho! There we go. Tits in my face every 2 seconds. What have I died and gone to Hooters? All right, Chris says, Davey, one of my favorite kills from Friday the 13th is the hanging, burning sleeping bag in 2009. 2009. Why not? I'll just call it 2009. Haven't got plans for Friday the 13th this month. We're doing the film's watch party soon. Hell yeah. What's your favorite movie in the franchise, Chris? That show was fun. God, that takes me back. Watched that show when it was new. Oh, are you talking about the Friday the 13th show? Hell yeah. I need to watch that one. I've heard really good things. I've heard things. MPAA was really coming down on movies around that time. Yeah. Yeah, and in America, it was the typical thing was that the nudity was okay, but the violence was being cut. So it is I think a kind of a, I guess I don't know if you can call it double standard, but yeah, I mean, like what you're saying, it's contradictory. Never, I'm gonna say never about 5 and 7 uncut. Still holding out hope the footage is in the Paramount vaults. Like all the masters to Harry's scores, which they found decades later. It's true. Like we never thought, like Day of the Dead, they thought they would never find an original print or an original negative. And I think they found an original, it was like some sort of original negative that they're able to use. Again, it was locked away in the vault somewhere in some storage, facility. It sounds like we're going to be able to get a 4K restoration of George Romero's Day of the Dead because they were able to find that original, I don't think it's a copy, some sort of original negative that they had. So yeah, you just never know. As of now, we only have the footage from the New Blood in a VHS form, unfortunately. The word on the street is the unused film or unused portions of that film were discarded, possibly burned. I don't know why they would ever do that, but like what benefit would it be if it's already captured on film? You might as well keep it on film. I don't think it benefits to just like burn something or destroy it, but whatever. Ooh, that's another big one. Yep, we talked about that one early on. That is classic. Anybody else want to see him just fly all the way down the stairs and not have a freeze frame? I would have loved it if he just tumbled and it just became a mess. Would have been great. A fan of Friday the 13th 3, love 2009 also. I'm a big fan of the 2009 remake as well. Yeah, Marcus Nispel. That guy makes a good remake. TCM remake. 2009 Friday the 13th remake, good shit. Not a fan of space movies, fair enough. Yeah, Uber Jason looks pretty silly. Yeah. I mean, it's like fan fiction or like a comic book. That's how Jason X feels like to me. It's like a comic book. It was better than Freddy's Nightmares, the Friday the 13th show. Yeah, having that theme of like almost, monster of the week kind of thing, with the different artifacts. I got to watch that. I'm sure it's on. I watch a lot of stuff on like Flix Momo, and I'm sure it's on there. Yeah, you're right. I couldn't think of the word. The interpositive. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, they'll be able to derive like all the information they need for a 4K restoration. So I guess, yeah, you just never know. Think something's gone forever, and then whoop, there it is. Deputy Josh's death in Jason Goes to Hell was super brutal. And is that played by Adam Marcus's brother? Is that who plays Deputy Josh? I believe so. All right, let's see here. Guys, we are reaching that 2-hour mark. I feel like the conversation, as far as it pertains to the deaths in the Friday the 13th franchise, we're sort of, you know, we're on the descent right now. We're sort of easing into our landing. I'm trying to think if there are any others that I just really want to make sure not to miss. I do love seeing Trent get pretty much like crucified on the tow truck. I think that's pretty brutal. That's a pretty hardcore impalement scene. And maybe we wanted to see Trent suffer a little bit more, but that's as he's living his last moments and bleeding out, he is getting dragged down a dirt road, you know, eating away at the heels of his feet and everything like that. So it's not a comfortable last bit of existence. So I want to throw that one out there. I'm going to shout out another one in the 09 remake because I think it's one of the most shocking moments in the franchise. And that is when our Danielle Panabaker character gets stabbed as they're, you know, coming out of the little spider hole tunnel area that Jason lives in. That is a moment that kind of broke my heart the first time I watched the movie. You figure, yeah, you're not going to have 3 characters that live. It really did. I was like, it caught me off guard. It was very surprising. It's not like a crazy impressive kill or anything like that. Just a really well-timed and well-executed moment. There we go. Let's see here. You just nailed it. One of the reasons why I think we might actually get uncut versions of 5 and part 7 is it makes 0 sense to burn the footage. Yeah, they say that they don't have it, but it is like, why not just, are you really like in the 80s where you're really running out of space? Like, was Paramount like, we just don't have the space for our film stock? Like, I doubt that. Yeah. What's happening, Erica? Welcome on in, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. And holy cow, it is so late out there, Erica. I am shocked that you have made it in. I am shocked. It's midnight out on the East Coast, right? Isn't it? Well, thank you so much for jumping on in, Miss Erica. What is your favorite kill in the Friday the 13th franchise? Let me know. Whitney shouldn't have been the final girl in 09. I think Jenna would have been the better choice. So Whitney's got to die after being captive. That would have been heartbreaking as well. That's just to me a positive sign of that movie. I want all 3 of those characters to live. I understand that that's probably not going to happen in a Friday the 13th movie. Yet they still found a way to surprise me. Because you figure, oh, she's a star. She's one of the co-leads. Like, there's no way they're gonna just kill her. Oh shit. Yeah, they fucking did that. Yeah, you are up late hanging out with a boy. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, favorite kill, Friday the 13th. You have 6 minutes. Don't know what my favorite kill is, but I do like Freddy versus Jason with the bed folding up. All right. Yeah, that one has come up a couple times. Does he get stabbed, right? Like a couple, like stabbed and then a little like half pull out and then another all the way through and then fold it up. Am I thinking of the right thing, or am I totally making some, is this Mandela effect? I can't even think. Can't even think. Ooh, no. Well, hopefully everything's okay. Maybe it's just having a tough time sleeping. So I'll talk you to sleep. There we go. Yeah, it is. It's late out there. It's just 9 out here in Arizona. But we are going to wrap things up here, folks. I skipped dinner, so I'm going to grab a little bite to eat here. And yeah, I will be back on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, so a little bit earlier than tonight. And we are going to do a franchise emergency meeting for Friday the 13th with Vincent DeSanti from Womp Stomp Films. Guys, it's going to be awesome. Hit the notification bell on the stream if you haven't already. We're going to talk positives, you know, what they're getting right, what they're getting wrong. We're going to talk about this TV show, the Jason universe, everything. So we're going to sift through it all and catch up with Vin. It's going to be great. And then on Friday, I'm doing that marathon of Friday the 13th, part 2, part 3, and the final chapter starting at 7:30 Eastern. So we are going to have a whole bunch of fun. And I guess Tia wants me to figure out something to do for Saturday the 14th to keep it all rolling. I usually do that. So thank you for reminding me, Tia. So I have to think of something to do now on Saturday. If you guys have any ideas, drop them in the comments section. Thank you so much for checking out the stream. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a damn thing. Thank you so much to the Patreon members, YouTube channel members, and our amazing group of Death Squad mods. And I'm trying to get in the habit of doing this lately, guys. I want to shine another light on the people that are throwing super chats out there. You guys are incredible. Jigsaw with a 2, Jiggy with another 2, Ryan Michael with a 2, Gaz Hearsome with a 349, Jiggy with a 2, Antonis with a 5, Tia with a 2, Jiggy with a 2, Ryan with a 2, Jiggy with a 2, Antonis with a 5, Lido with a 2, Lido with a 10, Antonis with a 10. Jigsaw gifted a membership. Congratulations, Mark from Tales from the Shelf. And Gorehound Gazette dropping a 5. Thank you all so very much for supporting the channel. You guys are beautiful. I love talking horror with you. We're going to keep this thing going. We're going to keep the community going. Share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, all that good stuff. And I will be back on Wednesday night for an official late night with the Davey. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a blast. Can't wait for that one. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your evening. And you know how we finish this up, right? Oh, wait, you know what? Davey, I'm going to be meaning to ask you, do you ever pull a neck muscle when you say will continue? I've not yet, Aaron, but I realized I did not close out the poll. All right, there we go. Which topic do you want for a Horror March Madness movie? We're going to do franchises, guys. 70% of the votes out of 27 votes went down to franchise. So there we go. We're going to get that cooking for the end of March here. And I've never once pulled a muscle, Aaron. So hopefully I don't do it this time. We'll see how that goes. But here we go, guys. This is how we end it every single time. Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care. Come on.